Pizza Time, and State Farm Insurance Agent Keith King. Now, live from the KOFO Coach's Corner at Pizza Time, here's your host, Bob Johnson.
A very spiffed up Coach's Corner, I might add.
It is. This is better than the red velvet ropes.
I think so. It's more than I expected, to say the least. And wow,
it is. It's pretty nice.
It is very nice. So we want to say thank you to everybody with Pizza Time and that involved putting this together. This new stage here in the Coach's Corner.
Yeah, I like it.
It's very nice.
It's very good. You can check it out. I know I put it on Twitter at Coach Kessinger, but I think, Bob, you did as well.
I threw it out on Instagram.
On Instagram. Yeah. So we've covered Twitter and Instagram.
Hey, we're on top of it. That's how it is here on the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Coaches Show. And obviously, as you could tell by the voice that is also on the radio, that is head coach Kent Kessinger. And Coach, welcome back. And it was a close one, but I think even though there were some negatives in the ball game, I think there were plenty of positives.
Yeah, I thought so too. We we left some points, I think, on the field in the first half that would have made it a little bit of a bigger margin of victory for us. But I was pretty excited about how our kids played through some adversity, particularly in the third and fourth quarter, in order to be able to come away with a W. And I think a year ago we would have probably had a hard time with that. And this year I think that we have a different team, different set of leadership that is pretty solid to be able to help us.
I was going to have to agree with you on that. I actually was going to bring that up, that a year ago I'm not sure that this team would have pulled the victory out. This year, though, there seems to be a real form of leadership and cohesion. And even though that third quarter was rough, you could tell that nobody had given up. There was still a lot of swagger on that sideline.
Yeah, there was. I mean, you didn't hear anybody complaining to each other. You didn't hear anybody, getting down on each other. When it comes to the players, they were there. They were really positive. I thought our defense played excellent. I had Coach Pearson give me, look up some things, because I thought that they really played extremely well, particularly in that fourth quarter. And in the second half, I think that they ended up only with maybe 20 yards total of rushing. They ended up with 6, if I remember this correctly. I wrote it down and I meant to bring it, but I didn't. They had 6 sacks. There were 6 other times that we either hurried the quarterback into a throw, or he scrambled enough to get back to the line of scrimmage, which could have been another potential 6 sacks. Caused 4 turnovers, had a ton of PBUs, and really I think what did they end up with total of 52 yards rushing or 53 yards rushing, and that was their big thing coming off of this last week. St. Mary had 130 yards rushing and one back at 130 yards rushing on 10 carries, and to limit the entire team to about 50-some yards I thought was an outstanding effort by our defense.
One player that stood out for me was Isaiah Veal on the defensive side of the ball.
He did a tremendous job. Matter of fact, we nominated him for Defensive Player of the Week. He didn't get it, but in our book, he was that guy. I mean, he had forced fumbles. He had sacks. He was the one that forced the fumble on the kickoff that we were able to recover, and then the next play offensively we score on a bootleg pass. So it was. I thought he played an outstanding game. And he's not the biggest cat that you ever saw, but he is quick and strong and plays with tremendous intensity.
I was really excited to see some of the old Kent Kessinger ball on Saturday, especially taking advantage after turnovers and just quick strike to the end zone and really kind of twisting that knife a little bit.
Well, we've got the ability, I think, to throw the football, and with a guy like James Reeder, he hasn't got quite on track yet for us. But he's still got that threat, and I think that's something that we're going to get him going here as we go through these next couple weeks, I hope. And but that's still that play action and being able to do things like that and have a quarterback play pitch and catch and receivers that can get open. makes you be able to expand some of the things that you do in the playbook for sure.
Well, and then you mentioned receivers getting open. Darian Dillard again with a fantastic week receiving the ball. They were double covering.
Yep.
I don't know what more they could have done to stop him, and yet he was still making plays.
Yeah, he did. He did a really good job, and he's a good tall target that's got really good speed, and I think that allows him to get off some of the stuff. They did double cover him, and that did open up guys like Dylan Foose and Kyle Teal to be able to take advantage of that. We were able to spread the ball around pretty good to receivers and tight ends throughout the day. Running backs got the football in the pass game, so it was nice to see the spread, even though Darian obviously led us with 10 receptions.
Well, and again this week, 5-6 receivers with catches.
Yeah,
and we didn't see that a whole lot of last year.
No, we didn't. I think that part of it is our quarterbacks. And I would say both of them are pretty good at being able to distribute the ball. They've got a really good, I think, grasp of what we're doing most of the time. There's some times where we're still learning, we're still feeling each other out on some of the stuff, but for the most part, I think that they get it and they find the guy and they play pitch and catch. There's a couple heart-stopping moments that Connor had during the game. I managed to get my heart started again, but he makes some exciting plays, and Spencer Lewis is, he's right now has been sitting at the second spot is pretty good player as well.
I have to ask because up in the booth, obviously, some of those plays, that gunslinger mentality. There was the underhanded or throw that he made that was caught. I know that's a coach's worst nightmare, but at the same time, to be able to pull something like that off, and yes, he's not going to do it every time.
Let's hope not. Yeah.
But to be able to have that ability, that's got to be comforting back there.
Well, it's nice to be able to have the quarterbacks that can extend the plays. Ethan Haller used to do that a lot by being able to extend plays and move in the pocket. And we're doing a lot of things with our cubes during the week. Try to do a lot of things with them during the week to where we're working on keeping their throwing shoulders in a position to be able to play pitch and catch. I tried to do that last year with our quarterbacks, but our quarterbacks like to run the ball more than they like to do anything else, and so it was always trying to preach to them to be a thrower, always be a thrower, be in a position to be able to throw the football. And when you decide to run, go ahead and run, but don't catch yourself in between. And that's the thing that we're still working on. Every once in a while, that both Connor and Spencer will find themselves in between and try to go and throw the football. And I think I likened it to I gave Connor a hard time on Sunday when we were watching films. I hadn't seen that many different types of passes and since I watched Magic Johnson play for Showtime in the Lakers when I was a kid. So I said if he keeps on doing that, we're going to have to change his jersey number to from 10 to 32.
How will KCAC, would they frown upon
No,
that?
I think he'd be all right. You can wear it as long as he's an eligible number. We're all right.
Okay, all right. That's
Doug Flutie wore 22,
Well, yeah. But there's only one Flutie.
It is true.
There's only one.
There's only one Flutie.
92 plays. Again, it was another one of those keys that you wanted to do coming in here was pick up the pace and run your offense and run plays, and 92 plays last Saturday night, pretty darn good.
Yeah, I was happy with the number. I was happy with at times the pace of play. At times we did a really good job, and at times we were a little slower than I wanted to go. The key though is I think that we need to improve on in the upcoming weeks and in practices is being able to turn more of those plays into points. So 92 plays for 29 points. I'd rather have 92 plays for 49 points. That sort of thing, to be able to create some more big plays. But we still got some of the plus 20s going for us, still got some of the big plays. We just needed to be able to, I think, take advantage of a couple scores we had 3 opportunities for a touchdown inside the 10-yard line and came away with a field goal. Now, it was a huge field goal. It ended up winning us the game, but, a touchdown would have let me breathe a little bit more.
Well, but let's be fair, too, and you said it in the postgame last Saturday, that this may be the most talented St. Mary team that you've coached against.
Yeah, definitely. It was.
And when you take a look at going against that kind of opponent, that kind of talent, in the grand scheme of things, 29 points against that defense, really pretty good. And to be able to squeak it out and pull and get that victory, hey, it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be a W.
Yeah. And that's, there's plenty of things, I told our guys there's the positive things, came away with a W, and there's plenty of things that we can still get better at. So I'm hoping that they can see that, we've got some growth and development to even become a better football team. And, hopefully that means that we're more dominant, when it comes to, the people that we're playing against. But, it is something that I'm pretty proud of, the resiliency. Those guys made plays. I told them today at the end of practice, when they decided that they were going to make their plays, they made the plays. They made the plays to stop. They made the plays to get the win. Shoot, we couldn't run the ball, I don't think, the length of my foot for about 3 quarters, and then that last drive when we need to have 1 first down to run it out, we did it in 2 plays. We got 12 yards in 2 plays. Bam, bam, just like that. So that was something that is really encouraging from our standpoint. And then defensively, I just can't say enough about what the defense I thought they did. Now, it looks like they gave up some big plays, but there were some fantastic grabs that the receivers for St. Mary's was making. Everything was contested. It wasn't easy catches. I think they had one where we gave up on a wheel. We gave up a wheel. That was it. Other than that, everything was earned, and they had a short field on one of the other ones. So I think that we've had 2 weeks in a row where we've had a really pretty good game plan defensively.
We're going to take our first break of the evening, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about special teams. We'll also we may dabble a little bit more on the offensive side of the ball. You never know what we're going to do here, but you definitely want to stick around. And, Coach, we're bringing back an old favorite tonight. We're going to play Homer Call tonight.
Homer Call, fantastic. We got some games to be able to choose from, huh?
We've got some audio from some of the KCAC finest, and Coach gets to choose who moves on in the tournament to determine the Homer Call champion. So all that coming up here on the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show. We're here till the top of the hour. A quick break. You're listening to us on 1220, 103.7 FM, and KOFO.com.
Hey, Ryan, where do you want to go to eat?
Pizza Time.
Pizza Time? Where's that?
At 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa. Or we could call 242-TIME and have it delivered.
242-TIME?
Yep, call my BFF Duke and his friends at Pizza Time.
What are you going to order?
I don't know. It's all so good. Pizza, sandwiches, appetizers, and dessert.
Now you've got me hungry. I wonder what time it is.
Pizza Time!
What it means to be an OU Brave is to be yourself. What I've learned here is I've created memories with friends, and I was actually really comfortable being in my own skin here. Everybody has their own personality, and we're all unique here, just trying to live significant lives. And I think I'm going to leave here with an imprint that will last forever and that I can hold on to and look back at and laugh at and see that I not only learned something, but I created friendships and memories that will always stick with me. That's what it means to be brave, to be yourself.
Be a brave. Visit ottawa.edu.
Why do we plan ahead for things we like? Parties, weddings, retirement? Because we like to be in charge and have peace of mind that things are going to happen as we want. This is Eric Price, Funeral Director at Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, and I'd like to encourage you to have peace of mind when it comes to your funeral service by planning ahead. You can have control now of the plans and costs and give your loved ones peace of mind as well. Call today and we'll discuss the advantages of planning ahead. Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, compassionate care when it's needed most. 242-3550.
Hey, guess what? Right now at VisionWorks, all prescription eyewear, every frame, every brand is 50% off. Yup, a nifty 50% thanks to our friends and family event. What's even better, it applies to both glasses and sunglasses. That's right. Go to visionworks.com and save 50% on all prescription eyewear. Saving on glasses has never been easier. Just go to visionworks.com. VisionWorks, we're here to help you. Some restrictions apply. See site for details.
Back here at Coach's Corner at Pizza Time. It's the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show. You're on 1220, 103.7 FM, KOFO and KOFO.com. I'm Bob Johnson. If you've tuned in and wanting to hear the Royals, we will join them in progress at 8 o'clock. So stick around for that. Otherwise, stick around and get caught up on Auto University Braves football as the Braves had a 29-27 victory over St. Mary last Saturday. And the Braves 2-0. And I meant to look back and check and see the last time, but it's been a little bit of time since the Braves have been 2-0 to start the season.
It's been a fair bit of time. Let's see, we in 2010 we beat Baker to start off the season, and then I think we were 2-0 at that point. Because I think our only loss of the season, if I remember correctly, on that one was McPherson.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Went down McPherson, because we had another loss in the playoffs, but the regular season loss was McPherson. So 2010, but it was a pretty good year for us. You know, we had some pretty good offense. We had some pretty good defense. We were in the hunt for the conference championship, all the way up, and got beat by McPherson, and they ended up being able to win things out. But other than that, we had a pretty good. Went to playoffs. Played, I think, Marion that year in the playoffs. So actually had a home. Maybe did we have a home game then?
Yeah, that was there was the 2009 home game and then 2010 home.
So I had a home game because we must have got up to number 8 in the nation then.
Yeah.
So.
And really, actually, it played Marion pretty well for that ball game.
And then they went on and won the national championship the next year.
So, well, there was that whole string of teams that you would play that would beat you in the playoffs, and they'd end up winning a national title.
Yeah,
so.
It somehow worked out like that.
Yeah.
They had to go through us to win a national title.
Who knew that national championships ran through Auto University?
They did for a while, it seemed like it. Sometimes they ran through, we couldn't stop them either.
And ba-dum-bum.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the things in the ball game on Saturday that was still a little bit of the adventure, it was the special teams.
Yes.
But hey, kudos to Nick Rodriguez, or as
he
Romeo
refers to himself.
Well, or as Romeo Crennel would say, the Cadews.
The Cadews?
The Cadews.
Yeah.
To Mr. Rodriguez. And hitting that field goal when it was necessary and getting the Braves the victory. You talked about it in the post game, how you pulled him aside and told him, hey, we're going to need you. He's got the leg. He's got the ability. What is it out there on the field? Is it just a mental block?
Well, no. I mean, it's you got people running, screaming at you. They want everything that you want to do, and the kicking game is extremely technical, especially when you're the kicker. And you give them a hard time, and say, well, that's the only thing you do all day is kick. You should be pretty good at it. But some people are supposed to block all day, and they're not very good at that, or tackle, or whatever. It goes in. It's just it's in that moment, and everybody's looking at you type thing. He was so anxious to get it off, because we had 2 weeks ago, we had issues with our left side of our field goal team, and we shored that up, and then the right side decided that they were going to have some issues. So hopefully we get that shored up this week, and we have both the left and the right side that's doing pretty good, and it'll give him a little bit more space to where he doesn't feel like he has to rush it. And that's what he was doing. He was rushing everything. When he rushes it, it's kind of like a golfer. You get ahead of the ball and you're going to hook it, and that's what he did. He hooked the ones that he missed. He basically hooked them, and the one that he hit, was nice, easy, right down the middle. So I told him before that, I go, you go so quickly to the ball anyways, you don't have to worry. We could not block anybody, and you'll still make the kick. Just get it up and give it a chance, and we're going to need you in order to win this game. And so I was thinking he was either going to be a field goal to win it or it was going to be an extra point, because at that point it seemed like we were trading extra points. They'd miss one, we'd miss one type thing, and I knew it was going to come down to some kind of a kick.
And really, again, when you take a look at it, the kid's got an incredible leg. He can just bomb it down the field. But so it's good to see that he's got that. He still has that confidence in himself to be able to do it, and getting the game-winning kick, that obviously helps out.
I would think so. It's only his second year kicking. The last time he kicked was in high school, and he's a fifth-year senior. So it's one of those things. There's a bit of space in between times, and so getting used to the hold, the snap, and there's so many moving parts that it's real easy to put it on a tee, nobody around you, and kick it 60 yards. In his case, he's got the leg to be able to do it. But sometimes those most difficult ones are the 5-yard kicks that you got to be able to do from the 5 or inside, just because you got all the pressure on you.
And then to kind of flip the script a little bit, the running game did a little bit better than week 1, but still some kinks to work out there. And I know that we talked last week that it was just a different step, or maybe going straight ahead instead of trying to move to the left or right.
Yep.
And does that continue to be the same thing?
It is a little. It's not as much. I mean, it's still a technical thing, and the way that we run our package in our running game is we run a lot of zone style of blocking, which means that they got guys, but they have more areas than they have guys, and you have to utilize a specific technique, and regardless of whether a guy's done it for 3 or 4 years or whatever it takes time. You have to get used to the steps. You got to get used to seeing the holes. Guys like James or Corbin or Dalen, those are the 3 guys that ran for us. Need to get comfortable with those guys behind you.
Is that James on the phone?
Yeah,
right
it actually is James calling on the phone.
We put him on the air.
Hit the remind me button on that one.
We just put him on the air right now.
Yeah, we should.
Come on, James. You can join it. Come on down here. Where is your team?
Most of them are showering right now because we get done with practice, and I do a quick jog down to the up to my office to get to my truck to get to here on time. So they're usually about 20 minutes behind me, it seems like. So
well, that's fair enough.
They might be showered by now.
Well, they should come down sometime, hang out.
No, I need to start bringing some of them, putting them on the radio.
Yeah, bring them on down.
I mean, we could have people, that come in, ask questions, like maybe like Garrett and Amanda Brown that just walked in, or Jen Rayburn who just walked in and out, got some pizza, head trainer, Ottawa University.
I'm happy to hand a live mic.
Oh, so now we're getting
technical.
More technical questions. Air it out. Yeah. All right. Offense sells tickets is what. Yeah. It's always good to have input from the fans. Well, we'll take it. Okay, I'm going to throw it more next week. You've heard it here first.
That sounds like a very Coach Kessinger plan anyway, to throw it as much as possible.
My arm.
Yeah, please don't make me throw the ball more than I have to. Please. So with that said, though, with the running game, there is a lot of talent. You got with James Reeder. The freshmen look really good. Johnson had some good runs.
Yeah, and so did Corbin Chambers. He's another freshman for us. Yep.
Yes. So I mean, it's not. It just seems like once that switch gets flipped, this offense could be really one of the most difficult ones to try to stop.
Yeah, in the past, we haven't been able to usually combine a really good passing attack with a really good running attack, and I think that we have the potential for that. I mean, obviously, with kids like James and Dalen and Corbin, we have some pretty good backs. Corbin and James are a little bit more of the the speed guys, although James can be pretty physical at times. Dalen's a little bit more of the physical guy, but he's got decent speed. Then they'll have the receivers around him, like we got, and the quarterbacks that I think could pitch it around. And they both got good mobility. They can run a little bit. You know, we've seen Connor do that on a couple occasions. And matter of fact, he made some big first downs for us with his legs this other day, Saturday. And so it is definitely something that if we get it kicking on all cylinders, I think that we can be pretty prolific as an offense.
And that would be fun to call.
You think so? We're trying to do. We got more big plays than we've had, in the last couple of years already to start off with. So
I was going to say that. I mean, 10, 20-yard plays. They really come in bunches this year so far. And hopefully that's something that we can keep on doing. I know people are going to try to take away our strong points, so we've got to have some creativity with things, and hopefully we'll get things going. I haven't had to go too many times into the old bag of tricks, but we'll see what we've got in store. I'm looking forward to something.
Yeah,
you got to throw me a bone or something, man.
Well, with Les Miles out of the game here for a little bit and just doing commercials, I think I'm going to probably have to call upon the Mad Hatter to see some of his old stuff.
I think that is very much, yes, that's called for. Very much called for. And so with that said, you heard it here first. Coach is going to run some sort of special play for me next week.
Yeah, sometime in the game it'll be special. It might be handoff right or left. Which way do you want to go with that one?
I'm kind of a straight-ahead kind of guy.
Well, there were some things that I saw at Bethel that I kind of liked out of that triple option. I'm maybe thinking see if Connor or Spencer can, run a little of the veer.
Ooh, now
nobody would see that coming.
No, now you want to talk about? It would make me think of was it Bono for the Chiefs that had the naked bootleg that went 90 yards for a touchdown, and it seemed like it took him till Tuesday to score back in the 90s.
That would be a good 4-minute offense, run the clock out.
Yeah. So I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, I like that. We're coming up with great offensive ideas. We're going to take a break, though, and formulate some more. But we also need to talk about this weekend's opponent, which is going to be the Bethany Swedes. Coach K goes home, and he looks to break a few hearts on Saturday night. The kickoff is at 7. The pregame show, the Super Stands Cleaning Service pregame, is at 6, and we'll have it here on 1220, 103.7 FM, KOFO, and KOFO.com. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more. You're listening to the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show on 1220, 103 FM, and KOFO.com.
Some combinations were just meant to go together. Chips and salsa, refrigerator and freezer, the internet and cat videos. At State Farm, there's another combination meant to go together, home and auto. As in combining your home and auto insurance with one agent, which leads to another combination, saving dollars and cents. Your State Farm agent is here to help life go right. Combine home and auto and see how much you can save.
This is State Farm agent Keith King in Ottawa. Call me today at 785-242-9435.
I came here to run cross country, and it ended up being way different than I thought it was going to be. It's unlike anything I've ever been a part of to be on the team. Everyone is so completely different. There are people you never thought you'd be friends with, nothing like your outside friends, but somehow you all click to be the same and have the same interests, but yet completely different. Everyone's always there for you. It's not just about running. Friendships and families like they're your siblings when you're away from home. That's what it means to be a part of the Braves cross country and track team, to be a family.
Be a Brave. Visit ottawa.edu.
Hey, Ryan, where do you want to go to eat?
Pizza Time.
Pizza Time? Where's that?
At 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa. Or we could call 242-TIME and have it delivered.
242-TIME?
Yep, call my BFF Duke and his friends at Pizza Time.
What are you going to order?
I don't know. It's all so good. Pizza, sandwiches, appetizers, and dessert.
Now you've got me hungry. I wonder what time it is.
Pizza Time!
Even though school has already started, getting your child's school physical is still possible at Ottawa Care Clinic. Now open 7 days a week inside Cosentino's Price Chopper, 120 East 19th. No appointment is necessary, and a staff of experienced and caring registered nurse practitioners is waiting to help you. Remember, bring your physical form, proof of insurance, or $50. Most insurances are accepted. Ottawa Care Clinic open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 11 till 7, Saturdays 9 till 4, Sundays 9 till 3. Money. Who doesn't love money? You want some? Then enter to win the KOFO Bank Midwest Count the Cash Contest. We're giving away $1,037 in cold, hard cash. And all you have to do is guess how much money is in the KOFO Bank Midwest Cash Cube. Be the closest to the total cash in the cube, and you win $1,037 to be exact. Wait, here's the best part. Nail the actual amount of the cash and coin in the cube, and Bank Midwest will throw in another $1,037. Half to you, and half to the charity of your choice in Franklin County. Tune in to KOFO for Cash Cube sponsor locations. Register one time at each location during every live remote broadcast, or stop by Bank Midwest anytime. Make your guess and win lots of money. Count the Cash. Brought to you by Trio, Brown Shoe Fit, Gun Guys, Car Star, 7 Seaters, Furniture Loft, Bank Midwest, and KOFO.
Live from Pizza Time, it is the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show. I'm Bob Johnson, head coach Kent Kessinger of the Ottawa University Braves with us. Want to remind you all that Friday night high school football will take the airwaves again. 6 o'clock, well actually 6:06, we'll have the Friday Night Lights preview show, getting you ready for the kickoff and leading you up to pregame with the Ottawa High game with Ottawa traveling to Paola. We'll have the Super Stands cleaning service. Rob Hedrick pregame show at 6:40, kickoff at 7, and then on KOFO.com we'll have the KOFO High School Football Game of the Week at 6:40. We'll have pregame with Luke Queen, and then kickoff at 7. So your high school football fix this Friday night here on the mothership and also on the internet at KOFO.com.
Sounds good.
Sounds like
yeah,
a fun
I'll
time.
Be there in person at the Paola game.
Yeah. That's well, let's hope for some for a better outcome for Ottawa High this week. It's been hoping. Rough the first 2 weeks.
Yep, it's been something.
that right there.
It's really hard to watch sometimes games. So when that's what you do for a living, you coaching them, they're like
that right there. Maybe
I'm pretty quiet most of the time, so
that may be audio I'm going to throw in my next Kent Kessinger promo. It's something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I'm definitely going to have that pulled for next week. So the Braves go on the road. You'll have the schedule makers in some ways didn't do you a whole lot of favors. The first 4 games, 3 are on the road.
Yeah.
And you go out to Lindsborg and take on the Swedes, who picked up their first win last weekend against Bethel. And kind of like you guys, it was a field goal to come away with the victory.
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty tight game. Matter of fact, Bethel goes up 14-0. As a matter of fact, they scored on the first play of the game. Score on the first play of the game. They get the ball back. They score again. They go up 14-0. And they have another opportunity. I think it's still early. I can't remember. I watched so many different games of them back together. I don't know which is which, but I think they had a chance to go up 20-6, and they fumbled going in or something like that. It was turned the ball over, and then so had opportunities to get a big lead, and with that style of offense, you get a big lead and you take care of the football because they milk the clock like no other, as you well know. That would have been a tough one for the Swedes to come back, but the Swedes forced some turnovers, were able to then capitalize on them and kick that field goal at the end to win her all up.
Well, they have a pretty stout offense, the Swedes do, and it's led by Isaiah Salazar, who had a pretty good game last Saturday. And Salazar's another one of those guys who feels like he's been around forever.
Yeah, he's had He's been there. He's had a couple stints because I think he had maybe a year off, if I remember correctly, for the Swedes. But then they also got Jafar Thomas, who was there and left and came back, and he played running back for him last year. Now they have him out. I believe it's at receiver, if I remember correctly. And he's a pretty talented athlete. Defensively, I think they have two really good defensive ends. I think they're going to play mainly out of their 34 front, although they've run some four-man stuff. But I think that we'll see them in the 34 stuff. But they have two pretty good defensive ends that do a good job of rushing the quarterback. And so, yeah, it's going to be a good test for the Braves for sure.
Well, definitely on the defensive side, this offense put up, well, let's see here. It was 484 yards of offense against that Bethel squad who, obviously gave up a good amount against Ottawa. But, a lot of people felt coming into the season Bethany was going to struggle. Offensively, though, they seem to have some mojo there.
Yeah, they've I think they got some talent, and they've played Benedictine, which was pretty early for them. I mean, they only had 2 weeks of practice playing Benedictine, and then they played a pretty good game against McPherson, and then had a pretty tough game against obviously Bethel. So they've pulled one of those out, and then they didn't win the other one. So they've been on both sides of the coin. They're going to be back home this week. They played Bethel at home, and we had to play down there. So they probably have some good stuff going on feelings wise about playing us. Then coming from last year, and then what they've been able to do at home. So we need to be disciplined. We need to be focused. We have to play with really good intensity, and hopefully that gives us the victory in the end.
And I think now this is going to be me, but I think discipline is actually going to be the big part of this ball game. Mm-hmm. If the Braves can hold theirs, Swedes had 11 penalties last week, and through 3 games they have 29 total penalties.
Yeah. So I didn't know that. That's a good stat.
So to me, forcing those kind of mental errors, I think, would go a long way. Well, even not forcing them, just having Bethany do it to themselves, it would certainly go a long way to helping the Braves come away with the victory.
Well, and I think that's, and I'm going to knock on wood on that one. I think that, we've done a pretty good job of keeping in control. We've had some penalties. We had a couple pass interference. We had a pass interference, one that was truly a pass interference last week, one that was kind of iffy on things, and then and the one that we did, I would have been like, yeah, tackle him, let's do that, and let's not give up a touchdown. But we've been pretty good offensively. I think we've done a good job of staying in the frame and not getting holding penalties. And the same thing defensively, we've done a good job of maintaining good discipline. So hopefully that stays the same. I think our kids play with pretty good intensity, but I think they also play within themselves. So we just got to keep that going.
At a point like this in the season, obviously nobody wants penalties, but should those kind of kinks be worked out by now?
In some cases, any kind of the procedure penalties and maybe motion penalties and that sort of thing should work themselves out by now. You're going to have, somebody said you could call a penalty on every play. You can find things. It's just, making sure that you're playing within the scope of the game. But some of it takes care of themselves, and some of it's going to be based on your opponent. You play a good opponent, there might be some times where, you get in a situation where you're out of position, and usually it's the out of position things that cause penalties.
What are going to be your keys for a victory on Saturday?
Oh, wow. Keys to victory. Well, I think we need to keep on improving on the special teams. We need to be able to come away with points every time we're in the red zone, and we're not 100% on that one yet. I've got a couple goals offensively that we follow, and one of them is score every time in the red zone. So that's come away with either 3 or come away with a touchdown. Every time inside the 10, we need to come away with a score with a touchdown. We need to do that. We need to be solid in our kicking game. They have some pretty good returners. Both of their corners, they're the returners for both kickoff, and one of them's one of their punt returners, and they're pretty quick guys. We need to be able to contain them. Defensively, I think that we got to do the same thing that we did this last week. Got to put pressure on the quarterback and force him into creating turnovers. And then flip side of the offense, we got to take care of the ball better than we did this last week.
Yeah, I don't think 4 turnovers this week, if it happens again, would be a victory for Ottawa.
No. And, one of those turnovers was just a kind of a misread when it comes to the quarterback tried to pull and the running back thought that he was supposed to get the dive, and we ended up fighting over it, and the ball ended up on it by itself. And then the other one, we got stripped in a pile, which could you say that the kid was down, was his momentum stopped and that sort of thing, but we still got to hold on to the football because we were inside the 10 at that point. We're going to score again. So some of those can be, I think we can eliminate, those two, holding on to the football and then, just a little bit better mesh. That's one of those timing things that you talked about that we could do.
We're going to take our final break of the evening here. When we come back, we dust off an old classic. We're going to play Homer Call, the best of the worst from the KCAC over the past 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. No, I'm not involved, although I probably could be. But it's not about me. It's about everybody else.
That's exactly right.
So stick around for that. Royals will be at the top of the hour. You're listening to the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show on 103.7 FM, also on 1220 and KOFO.com.
Hey, Ryan, where do you want to go to eat?
Pizza Time.
Pizza Time? Where's that?
At 208 South Main in historic downtown Ottawa. Or we could call 242-TIME and have it delivered.
242-TIME?
Yep, call my BFF Duke and his friends at Pizza Time.
What are you going to order?
I don't know. It's all so good. Pizza, sandwiches, appetizers, and dessert.
Now you've got me hungry. I wonder what time it is.
Pizza Time!
If you're a renter, you may never know why your landlord starts lawn care at 7 a.m. every Sunday. Or why your car is the goal line for the neighbor kids' soccer games. You may also not know State Farm can save you hundreds by combining your auto and renter's insurance. So protect your car and your stuff with one good neighbor, your State Farm agent. It could save you time and money. One more way, we're here to help life go right.
This is State Farm Agent Keith King in Ottawa. Call me today at 785-242-9435.
This is Eric Price, Funeral Director at Lamb Roberts Funeral Home. You're always welcome to visit us if you need to discuss pre-planning, pricing, services, or if you just want to share a cup of coffee in a time of need. But if you can't make it by, we invite you to visit us at lamb-roberts.com. You'll find a complete list of obituaries, ways to send flowers or gifts, a guide to help you plan ahead, and tips on handling grief. Just another way we provide compassionate care when you need it most. Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, 242-3550, and at lamb-roberts.com.
What it means to be an OU Brave is to be yourself. What I've learned here is I've created memories with friends, and I was actually really comfortable being in my own skin here. Everybody has their own personality, and we're all unique here, just trying to live significant lives. And I think I'm going to leave here with an imprint that will last forever and that I can hold on to and look back at and laugh at and see that I not only learned something, but I created friendships and memories that will always stick with me. That's what it means to be brave, to be yourself.
Be a brave. Visit ottawa.edu.
Even though school has already started, getting your child's school physical is still possible at Ottawa Care Clinic. Now open 7 days a week inside Cosentino's Prize Chopper, 120 East 19th. No appointment is necessary, and a staff of experienced and caring registered nurse practitioners is waiting to help you. Remember, bring your physical form, proof of insurance, or $50. Most insurances are accepted. Ottawa Care Clinic open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 11 till 7, Saturdays 9 till 4, Sundays 9 till 3.
Final segment here on the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show with the booming voice of head coach Kent Kessinger.
That's what they tell me.
That's, hey, I've been around to hear it, so and especially back in the days when I used to sit outside the press box and you were on the top. I think my favorite Coach Kessinger line is, and it may have been a game against Friends that you yelled over the headset to tell the officials to have Monty stop calling all the penalties.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, I might have done that maybe. That sounds like something I might have said.
I distinctly remember that one, and it probably went over the air pretty well too. So.
I'm sure.
So nothing wrong with that at all. Well, here are the rules. It's our old favorite. It is Homer Call. We take 3 calls from KCAC football games over the past couple of weeks, and we determine who's the biggest homer.
Hey, do I get to phone a friend on this one?
You could phone a friend. By the way, hi, Amy. I want to say hello to you, as we didn't get to that earlier in the program, so I hope I didn't hurt your feelings. But
yep, Toaster.
Yes.
Your mom,
my
Bob's
mom.
mom, my in-laws.
Yes. The router. My son, because he has to, because he's running the board back at the station.
Oh, is he? Good for him.
So he's the one keeping us on the air.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Doing a heck of a job, too.
Yeah, pretty solid job. I'm very proud of him.
I'm taking it as Lars, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, Shay's playing flag football right now.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah.
Okay, good.
So,
good job, Lars.
Yes. This is how this works. We're going to play the clips, one right after.
3 clips.
3 clips, and we decide who's the best of the worst, who's the biggest homer, and then they move on. And at the end of the season, we'll determine a Homer Call champion.
Yes.
So, all right, let's go with clip number 1.
Definitely 4th and inches here for the Swedes. Staying with Avila Castro in a 23-yarder. Setting up here to try to essentially win this game for Bethany. We're tied up at 28-all between Bethany and Bethel with 52 seconds left to go in this home opener for the Swedes. The freshman out of Salina South High School in Salina, Kansas, just a little north of here, is trying to put the Swedes up. A snap. Ball is center cut in between the hash marks. It's away. Set. Avila Castro's kick is good. It was right around that right goal post, and it goes through. Bethany now leads 31-28 with.
So, that's number
All right.
1. All right, let's go with clip 2.
Southwestern crowd trying to urge on their defense. Clock showing 8:10 left in the third quarter. Sterling up 27-20. They fake the fly sweep. Butler straight ahead. Inside the 10. Shakes a tackle. Shakes another one. Eludes one man. Dives in. Touchdown Warriors. Oh, my goodness. And now a late flag will come in from the side judge. I hope this isn't one of those celebration penalties that turned the tide last week. Some head coach is going to be real upset here in just a moment. The touchdown, I believe, that was after the play, will stand. Now we'll get the call from the referee.
Number 4, offense. Change ball on the inside after the touchdown. This is number 4's first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game. The foul will be applied to the kickoff.
Well, I'll tell you, just like last week, when you went up 13 and the extra point pending, you get an unsportsmanlike penalty, and you'll be backed up 15 on the kickoff.
So, and some coach is going to be upset.
Some coach.
Yes. All right, clip number 3.
Hill Dunn, this is his first action in the backfield. 5'8" senior tailback. DeAnthony Blakey in there. DeShane Stevens in there. It's going to be a keeper. Jacobs over the top, reaching for the end zone. He's in. Jacobs, a touchdown on the ground, goes airborne. And Avila up 20-14. Jacobs, boy, this kid can play some quarterback, can he? 2 through the air and now 1 on the ground. Jacobs has got more than 60 yards rushing, and the Eagles have a 6-point lead again.
The kid could play quarterback, yet he's rushed the ball. So, anyway, I'm going to leave that alone.
Yeah.
But
he is their quarterback.
He is their quarterback, but
Homer Call of the week. Man, I think it's going to boil down to the first one Bethany and the last one Avila. That's a tough one. I kind of like the ball center cut, the snap, the cut, inside the upright. I mean, that was fairly detailed. fairly detailed. I would have liked to seen a little bit more enthusiasm out of both of them. So if we're going on enthusiasm, I got to lean toward Avila. I'm waiting for a phone a friend to see, what they think, but
I think you're underselling the Sterling Southwestern call.
Yes, because somebody's going to be upset.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got to throw in the oh my goodness.
The oh my goodness. Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to be like a car salesman here, but I don't know that you're giving it enough. I'm not sure. But boy, this kid can play some quarterback, can he?
Yes, he can play some quarterback, and he can play some quarterback. I think he had 8 touchdowns on the day. So, I think we got to move on. I think we got to move on. The Avila one at the end. I think that one's got to move on.
Congratulations to Avila. They move on in the tournament. So we'll definitely want to keep that around for later on this year, as they will be. They'll be in the Grand Championship, our Final Four, or our Bowl Championship Series, if you will. So, all right, congratulations to them, and we've got just about 2 minutes left on the program. So the floor is yours for your final words.
Well, first of all, I want to thank our crowd. It was amazing this last weekend. Brave Nation really came out for the Gold Rush. We were able to get a victory with those all gold unis on, which were very bright.
Sharp.
Yep, they look pretty good. I know the photographers like it when they have something sharp to be able to take pictures of, so we complied with that. But the crowd was amazing. So we're gonna be away. Hopefully we all you guys that are coming to watch the game, we give another good show. Keys to victory, like I talked to you about before, is keeping track of keeping the turnovers down for us, playing smart football, and putting some pressure on that quarterback for sure. And if we can do that, I think that we'll have a pretty solid chance to be able to come away with the W there in the Borg. So
going 3-0, and then heading into your matchup the following week against Kansas Wesleyan. Yeah. Which could lead to probably one of the top games of the season, hopefully.
Yeah, the way Kansas Wesleyan's on fire right now, so I'd like to be able to go in that thing undefeated, maybe get everything going and come away with it, maybe a championship for us this year.
That's going to wrap it up for us this week at Pizza Time. We're here every Tuesday night during the football season, for the OU football season. So come down and join us. Pizza specials, great service, all kinds of good stuff. That down here at Pizza Time, plus the Coach's Corner is all gussied up now. And I want to remind everybody, Saturday at 6, it'll be the Superstands Cleaning Service, Ottawa University Braves pregame show. And then at 7 o'clock, we'll have the kick with Ottawa University and Bethany. You'll hear it here on 1220, 103.7 FM, and KOFO.com. Stick with us at the top of the hour. We'll join the Royals broadcast in progress. But for head coach Kent Kessinger, I'm Bob Johnson. Thank you for joining us for the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show.
Information and entertainment in East Central Kansas. KOFO K279CS Ottawa, where keeping you informed comes first.
Hey, KC fans, it's time to root for your Royals. StubHub has the best selection of 100% MLB verified tickets right up till first pitch. After all, they've been partners with MLB for 10 years strong. So go ahead, get tickets at StubHub. Head to Kauffman Stadium and surround yourself with thousands of screaming Royals fans. And grab a hot dog while you're at it. Get to StubHub today. StubHub is the official partner of the Kansas City Royals.
Rent, electric company, cable provider, an Italian leather shop in Italy? That doesn't seem right. In fact, it seems suspicious. Today, we're recommitting to you and continuing to help keep your money safe, like alerting you to certain card activity we find suspicious. If it's not your purchase, we'll help you resolve it. Wells Fargo, established 1852, re-established 2018. Availability may be affected by our mobile carrier's coverage area. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
We head to the bottom of the third inning at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, 1-0. The White Sox have the lead. Brian Goodwin will lead things off for the Royals. He went 2 for 4 and scored the game-winning run last night after he led off the 10th inning with a double. Then a sacrifice and moving to third. A terrible throw by Genmar Gomez went down the line, and Brian scrambled to his feet and scored the game-winning run. Royals won it by a final of 4-3. Next pitch by Kobe misses low, and now the 2-0 pitch, and Brian swings and hits it back up the middle and by Anderson into center field. Looked like Anderson might be able to grab it. They're calling it a base hit, and so the Royals have a speed guy on with nobody out to start this bottom 3. While we have a moment, let's pause for station identification. This is the Royals Radio Network.
Your source for information and entertainment and Royals baseball in East Central Kansas, KOFO K279CS Ottawa.
One nothing Chicago in the last of the third. Rosell Herrera will step to the plate. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Goodwin at first base. Pretty good lead, does not go, and the pitch is fouled off. And it's strike 1 to Herrera, who came in hitting .230 this year with 1 home run and 18 RBIs. That 1 home run came back at Yankee Stadium in front of a few members of his family, including his brother, who's a big baseball and Rosell Herrera fan. Abreu holding on Goodwin, who edges away a little further. Kobe does have a pretty good move. Now he brings the pitch way inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Moncada's at second base.